Welcome to our exploration of the basic types of commodities. Commodities are the raw materials or primary agricultural products that can be bought and sold, such as gold, oil, or wheat. They play a crucial role in the global economy, serving as the foundation for many products we use daily. In this video, we'll break down the main categories of commodities, explain their characteristics, and highlight their importance in trade and investment. Whether you're a student, investor, or just curious, understanding commodities is essential for grasping how markets function. Let's begin by defining what makes something a commodity and why these goods are so significant worldwide. Commodity is a basic good used in commerce that is interchangeable with other goods of the same type. Commodities are typically produced in large quantities and have uniform quality regardless of who produces them. This means that one barrel of oil is essentially the same as another, and the same goes for a bushel of wheat or an ounce of gold. The standardization of commodities allows them to be traded easily on exchanges, making them a cornerstone of global trade. Understanding this definition helps us see why commodities are so vital in the supply chain and how they impact prices and availability of everyday products. Commodities are generally divided into two main categories: hard commodities and soft commodities. Hard commodities are natural resources that are mined or extracted, such as metals and energy products. Soft commodities, on the other hand, are agricultural products or livestock. This distinction is important because each category responds differently to market forces, weather, and geopolitical events. By understanding these categories, we can better appreciate the diversity and complexity of the commodity markets, as well as the factors that influence their prices and availability. Hard commodities refer to natural resources that are extracted or mined from the earth. These include metals like gold, silver, and copper, as well as energy resources such as crude oil, natural gas, and coal. Hard commodities are essential for industrial production, energy generation, and manufacturing. Their prices are often influenced by geopolitical events, technological advancements, and global demand. Because they are finite resources, fluctuations in supply can have significant impacts on their market value. Understanding hard commodities is key to grasping the dynamics of many industries and the broader economy. Soft commodities are agricultural products or livestock that are grown or raised, rather than mined or extracted. Examples include wheat, corn, coffee, sugar, cotton, and livestock such as cattle and hogs. These commodities are vital for food production and textiles, and their prices are often affected by weather conditions, disease, and seasonal cycles. Soft commodities are traded globally and are a major part of many countries' economies. Understanding soft commodities helps us appreciate the challenges and opportunities in agriculture and food supply chains. Energy commodities are a subset of hard commodities and include products like crude oil, natural gas, coal, and gasoline. These resources are fundamental to powering economies, fueling transportation, and supporting industrial activities. The energy market is highly sensitive to geopolitical tensions, technological changes, and shifts in global demand. Price volatility in energy commodities can have wide-reaching effects, influencing everything from transportation costs to electricity prices. By understanding energy commodities, we gain insight into one of the most dynamic sectors of the global economy. Metal commodities include precious metals like gold and silver, as well as industrial metals such as copper, aluminum, and nickel. Precious metals are often seen as safe haven investments, especially during economic uncertainty. Industrial metals are crucial for construction, electronics, and manufacturing. The prices of metal commodities are influenced by factors like mining output, technological innovation, and global economic growth. Metals are traded on major exchanges and play a significant role in both investment portfolios and industrial supply chains. Agricultural commodities are the backbone of the food industry. They include grains like wheat, corn, and rice, as well as oilseeds, coffee, cocoa, sugar, and cotton. These products are grown in various regions around the world and are subject to seasonal cycles and weather patterns. The agricultural commodity market is highly sensitive to climate change, pests, and global trade policies. Understanding agricultural commodities helps us see the direct link between farming, food prices, and global nutrition. Livestock commodities include animals raised for food and other products, such as cattle, hogs, and sheep. These commodities are essential for meat, dairy, and leather industries. The prices of livestock are influenced by feed costs, disease outbreaks, and consumer demand. Livestock trading is a major part of agricultural markets, and fluctuations can have significant effects on food prices and rural economies. By understanding livestock commodities, we gain a better perspective on the complexities of food production and supply. Commodities are traded on specialized exchanges, such as the Chicago Mercantile Exchange (CME) and the London Metal Exchange (LME). These platforms provide a marketplace for buyers and sellers to trade standardized contracts for various commodities. Exchanges ensure transparency, liquidity, and standardized pricing, making it easier for participants to manage risk and plan for the future. Understanding how commodity exchanges work is key to grasping the mechanics of global trade and investment. Commodities can be traded in spot markets, where goods are bought and sold for immediate delivery, or in futures markets, where contracts are made for delivery at a future date. Spot markets are useful for immediate needs, while futures markets help manage price risk and speculation. The distinction between these markets is important for producers, consumers, and investors, as it affects pricing, risk management, and investment strategy. Understanding spot and futures markets is essential for anyone interested in commodity trading. Prices of commodities are influenced by a range of factors, including supply and demand, geopolitical events, weather conditions, and technological advancements. For example, a drought can reduce crop yields and drive up prices, while new mining technology can increase metal supply and lower costs. Global events such as conflicts or trade agreements can also cause price swings. Understanding these factors helps explain why commodity prices can be so volatile and unpredictable. Commodities often play a significant role in inflation. When the prices of basic goods like oil or wheat rise, the cost of living can increase for everyone. Central banks and policymakers closely monitor commodity prices as indicators of inflationary pressure. Investors may also use commodities as a hedge against inflation, since their prices tend to rise when the value of money falls. Understanding this relationship is crucial for both economic planning and personal finance. Commodities are a popular investment option for diversifying portfolios and managing risk. Investors can gain exposure to commodities through futures contracts, exchange-traded fund ETFs, or commodity-focused mutual funds. Commodities often move differently from stocks and bonds, providing a hedge against market volatility. However, investing in commodities also comes with risks such as price swings and leverage. Understanding the role of commodities in investment helps individuals and institutions make informed financial decisions. Journey of a commodity from producer to consumer involves complex supply chains. For example, crude oil is extracted, refined, transported, and eventually sold as gasoline. Similarly, wheat is grown, harvested, processed, and turned into bread. Each step in the supply chain adds value and cost, and disruptions can impact prices and availability. Understanding commodity supply chains helps us appreciate the interconnectedness of global trade and the importance of logistics in delivering goods. To ensure fair trading, commodities are classified according to quality standards. These standards specify characteristics such as purity, size, and grade. For example, gold is traded in specific purities, while wheat is graded by protein content and moisture. Quality standards allow buyers and sellers to agree on the value of a commodity without inspecting every batch. This standardization is essential for efficient trading and price discovery in commodity markets. Commodities are traded globally, connecting producers and consumers across continents. Major exporters of oil include countries in the Middle East, while the United States and Brazil are leading exporters of agricultural products. Global trade in commodities is influenced by tariffs, trade agreements, and transportation costs. The interconnected nature of commodity trade means that events in one part of the world can affect prices and availability everywhere. Understanding global trade helps us see the big picture of commodity markets. Commodity prices are known for their volatility. Factors such as weather, political instability, and changes in demand can cause prices to swing dramatically. For example, a hurricane in an oil-producing region can disrupt supply and drive up prices. Price volatility presents both risks and opportunities for traders, producers, and consumers. Understanding the causes and effects of price volatility is essential for managing risk in commodity markets. Commodity derivatives are financial instruments whose value is based on the price of an underlying commodity. Common derivatives include futures, options, and swaps. These instruments allow traders and investors to hedge against price changes or speculate on future movements. Derivatives play a key role in commodity markets by providing liquidity and enabling risk management. However, they also introduce complexity and potential for significant losses if not used carefully. Physical commodities refer to the actual goods, such as barrels of oil or bushels of wheat, that are delivered and consumed. Financial commodities, on the other hand, are contracts or instruments that represent ownership or exposure to the price of a commodity without physical delivery. Most commodity trading today is done through financial instruments, allowing for greater flexibility and liquidity. Understanding the difference between physical and financial commodities is important for navigating modern markets. Speculators are market participants who seek to profit from price changes in commodities. Unlike producers or consumers, speculators do not intend to take delivery of the physical goods. Their trading activity adds liquidity to the market and can help stabilize prices, but excessive speculation can also lead to increased volatility. Understanding the role of speculators helps explain some of the dynamics and risks present in commodity markets. Commodity prices are often linked to currency values, especially the US dollar. Since most commodities are priced in dollars, changes in the dollar's value can impact commodity prices globally. For example, a stronger dollar can make commodities more expensive for buyers using other currencies, reducing demand and lowering prices. Understanding the relationship between commodities and currencies is important for international trade and investment decisions. Production and consumption of commodities can have significant environmental impacts. Mining, drilling, and large-scale agriculture can lead to deforestation, pollution, and habitat loss. As awareness of environmental issues grows, there's increasing pressure on producers to adopt sustainable practices. Understanding the environmental impact of commodities is crucial for making informed choices as consumers and investors. Technology plays a major role in commodity markets. Advances in extraction, farming, and logistics can increase supply and reduce costs. Technology also enables better market information, faster trading, and improved risk management. For example, satellite data can help predict crop yields, while blockchain technology can improve supply chain transparency. Understanding the impact of technology helps us see how commodity markets are evolving. Geopolitical events can have a major impact on commodity markets. Conflicts, sanctions, and trade disputes can disrupt supply chains and cause price spikes. For example, tensions in oil-producing regions often lead to higher energy prices. Understanding the link between commodities and geopolitics is essential for anticipating market movements and managing risk. Emerging markets are often major producers and consumers of commodities. Rapid economic growth in countries like China and India drives demand for energy, metals, and agricultural products. At the same time, many developing countries rely on commodity exports for income. Understanding the role of emerging markets helps explain global demand trends and the challenges of economic development. Many everyday products are made from basic commodities. For example, plastics are derived from oil while bread is made from wheat. The prices of these commodities can directly affect the cost of consumer goods. Understanding the connection between commodities and finished products helps us see how global markets influence our daily lives. Supply shocks occur when unexpected events disrupt the production or delivery of commodities. Natural disasters, strikes, or political unrest can reduce supply and cause prices to spike. These shocks can have ripple effects throughout the economy, affecting everything from food prices to manufacturing costs. Understanding supply shocks is important for managing risk and planning for uncertainty. Demand shocks happen when there are sudden changes in the need for a commodity. For example, a pandemic can reduce demand for oil as travel decreases, or a new technology can increase demand for certain metals. Demand shocks can lead to rapid price changes and affect producers' and consumers' decisions. Understanding demand shocks helps explain some of the volatility in commodity markets. When the price of a commodity rises, consumers and producers may look for substitutes. For example, if the price of copper increases, manufacturers might switch to aluminum. Substitution can help stabilize markets and limit price increases, but it also creates competition among commodities. Understanding substitution is important for predicting market trends and making informed decisions. Storage plays a key role in commodity markets. Some commodities, like grains and metals, can be stored for long periods, allowing producers to wait for better prices. Others, like fresh produce or livestock, are perishable and must be sold quickly. Storage costs and capacity can influence supply, demand, and price volatility. Understanding the role of storage helps explain some of the unique features of commodity markets. Transporting commodities from producers to consumers is a major logistical challenge. Bulk goods like oil, coal, and grain require specialized ships, trains, and trucks. Transportation costs and infrastructure can affect prices and market access. Disruptions in transportation, such as strikes or natural disasters, can lead to supply shortages and price spikes. Understanding transportation is essential for grasping the full picture of commodity market. Governments regulate commodity markets to ensure fair trading, prevent fraud, and protect consumers. Regulations can include quality standards, trading rules, and environmental protections. Changes in regulation can have major impacts on prices and market behavior. Understanding the role of regulation helps explain some of the complexities and challenges in commodity markets. Risk management is a critical part of commodity trading. Producers, consumers, and investors use tools like futures contracts and insurance to protect against price swings and supply disruptions. Effective risk management can help stabilize incomes, ensure supply, and reduce uncertainty. Understanding risk management strategies is essential for anyone involved in commodity markets. Sustainability is becoming increasingly important in commodity markets. Consumers and investors are demanding products that are produced responsibly, with minimal environmental and social impact. Sustainable practices can include reducing emissions, conserving resources, and supporting fair labor. Understanding sustainability helps us make better choices and encourages positive change in commodity production. Innovation drives change in commodity markets. New technologies, products, and business models can create new markets or disrupt existing ones. For example, the rise of electric vehicles has increased demand for lithium and cobalt. Innovation can also improve efficiency, reduce costs, and open up new opportunities for producers and consumers. Understanding the role of innovation helps us anticipate future trends in commodity markets. Globalization has transformed commodity markets, making it easier for goods to move across borders and for prices to be set on a global scale. This interconnectedness increases competition, efficiency, and access to resources, but it also means that local events can have global consequences. Understanding globalization helps explain the rapid changes and complexity of modern commodity markets. Commodity markets go through cycles of boom and bust, driven by changes in supply, demand, and investment. During a boom, high prices encourage increased production, which can eventually lead to oversupply and falling prices. Understanding market cycles helps producers, consumers, and investors make better decisions and plan for the future. Commodities can have significant social impacts, both positive and negative. They can create jobs, support communities, and drive economic development. However, commodity production can also lead to displacement, inequality, and conflict. Understanding the social impact of commodities is important for making ethical choices and supporting sustainable development. Government policies can shape commodity markets through subsidies, tariffs, and regulations. Policies can encourage production, protect domestic industries, or promote sustainability. Changes in policy can have major impacts on prices, trade flows, and market behavior. Understanding the role of policy helps explain some of the forces driving commodity markets. Price discovery is the process by which markets determine the price of a commodity based on supply and demand. Transparent and efficient price discovery is essential for fair trading and investment. Commodity exchanges, market data, and trading activity all contribute to this process. Understanding price discovery helps us see how markets function and why prices change. Transparency in commodity markets means that information about prices, supply, and demand is readily available to all participants. Transparency helps prevent fraud, reduces risk, and promotes fair competition. Advances in technology and regulation have improved transparency in recent years, making markets more accessible and efficient. Understanding transparency is key to building trust and confidence in commodity markets. Commodity markets involve a wide range of participants, including producers, consumers, traders, investors, and regulators. Each group has different goals and strategies, contributing to the complexity and dynamism of the market. Understanding the roles of different participants helps explain market behavior and the flow of goods and capital. Access to commodity markets can vary depending on infrastructure, regulation, and technology. Some producers and consumers have direct access to exchanges, while others rely on intermediaries. Improving market access can increase efficiency, reduce costs, and promote economic development. Understanding market access helps explain some of the barriers and opportunities in commodity trading. Summary: commodities are the building blocks of the global economy, providing the raw materials for countless products and services. Understanding the basic types of commodities, how they are traded, and the factors that influence their prices is essential for anyone interested in economics, business, or investing. As markets evolve, commodities will continue to play a central role in shaping our world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the fascinating world of commodities.